Do you know what a curse smells like? It's not some abstract thing. That night, on a packed train rumbling through the Indian countryside, it was the sour stench of sweat and dust, the smoke of cheap cigarettes, and the heavy, suffocating scent of curry from someone's dinner. The flickering yellow light above trembled across tired faces, swaying with the rhythm of the train. I was 14. My name is Arjun. I sat by the window, palm pressed against the cold glass. My parents, Raj and Priya, sat across from me. My father's hand gripped my mother so tightly his knuckles were white, a silent confession of fear. Then I saw it. Out in the moonlit fields stood a figure, tall, thin, and horribly misshapen. Its limbs were long and crooked like dead branches glued to a body of just skin and bone. It didn't move. It just raised one bony arm and waved at me. Slowly, mockingly. My scalp went numb. "Dad, look," I whispered. Rage turned, saw it, and froze. He yanked the green curtain shut, the metal rings clattering against the rail. "Priya," he rasped, his voice tight. "She's found us." My mother's face drained of all color. "No, we've gone so far." "It's her," he said, his voice cracking. "That shape. I'd know it anywhere." I stared at the curtain. "Who is she?" "Don't ever say her name, Arjun," my mother whispered, her palm slick with cold sweat as she squeezed my hand. "If you speak it, she'll carve your voice into her soul." A thick, heavy silence settled over us. The smell of curry suddenly turned foul. A chill swept through the sealed window, and then thump, thump, thump. Footsteps on the roof, slow, dry, as if something dead was walking right above us. Raj gripped my mother's hand even tighter. "She's up there." The conversations around us died. Everyone sat perfectly still, listening. Then a young man named Ravi, our old neighbor from the northern village, gasped. Tears streamed down his face as he stared at his phone. "My parents, they're dead," he cried out. On his screen was a picture of a ruined hut, splattered with blood. And in the corner, a faint, lanky figure, arms stretched long and crooked, waving. Raj muttered, almost to himself, "She's reclaiming what's hers." I couldn't stop trembling. "I'm scared, Dad." He held me close. "We'll survive again," he said, but his eyes were completely hollow. The footsteps stopped. The silence that followed was even worse. Then a shrill, hissing voice crackled through the old speaker above us. "Return what was taken. The child belongs to me." Screams erupted. Passengers surged toward the far end of the carriage, trampling each other in a wave of pure terror. In the chaos, I lost my parents. A cold, skeletal hand brushed my shoulder. I spun around. No one was there. "Dad! Mom!" I shouted, but my voice was swallowed by the panic. And then, darkness. The lights went out completely, leaving only the faint glimmer of phone screens. In that dead silence, a whisper slid right against my ear. "You belong to me, Arjun. You are the promise of the village." I knew that voice. It was the voice that had haunted my dreams for years, the one my parents always tried to deny existed. A flash of light cut through the dark. She stood at the far end of the carriage. Her face was a crude wooden mask, her eyes two empty pits, her grin carved from ear to ear. Her arms stretched upward, almost touching the ceiling. She wasn't waving anymore. She was calling me. I stumbled backward, right into my father. "She can't take you," Raj whispered, but his voice was broken. "Why does she want me?" I cried. Priya held me tight. "Because you're the only one left, Arjun. The village promised you to her. A sacrifice for rain, for a good harvest. But we ran. We stole you." The truth hit me like a physical blow. I wasn't just a child. I was a debt, a promise, a stolen soul. The tall figure began moving through the crowd. Everyone she touched simply collapsed, drained and silent. "We can't run forever," Priya sobbed. Raj nodded, tears gleaming in his eyes. You must live, Arjun. Remember us. He pushed me toward the next carriage. Go, don't look back. I stumbled through the door. When I turned, she was standing right in front of my parents. She didn't strike them. She only turned her wooden head toward me, and her smile grew wider, satisfied. Then she lifted one long, bony finger and pointed straight at me. A promise, a claim. Raj and Priya looked at each other one last time, then stepped forward together. The moment they touched her, both of them just dissolved into shadow. Soundless. Gone. The lights flickered back on. Everything looked normal. Passengers were murmuring about a power failure, mass panic. They glanced at me with pity, a boy all alone. Your parents must have gotten off early, a kind woman said gently. They didn't remember. They couldn't. To them, Raj and Priya had never even existed. When the train pulled into the final station, daylight poured in. I stepped onto the platform, completely alone. In the reflection of a glass stall, I saw myself, and behind me, her faint outline. Her long, twig-like hands rested on my shoulders. Her grin stretched wide, carved into my reflection. I am Arjun, the child of a broken promise. I survived, but not to be free. She didn't take my life. She took my solitude. Now, whenever I look into a mirror, she is there, smiling, reminding me that I will never be alone again.